Welcome back to my channel, guys. Today I'm gonna be repotting my phals. So you can see all of them right here. I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 to repot. I'm gonna be trying a new media today, so we're gonna be repotting together and talk about the different medias that I've tried, what have been successful for me and what have not, and just the controversy around growing orchids in different medium. So if you're interested in seeing that, then keep on watching. All right, so let me move these out of the way so that I can have some space and so you can see what I'm doing. There, I think you're fine there. All right, so here we have. So what I think I'm gonna be doing is, should I do them one at a time? I don't know. Clean one and then do it like that. I don't know. See, look at it, the media is all broken down and yeah, it's not the best situation. I need to get a bag to put all this media in, so I'll be right back. All right, so let's begin. Look at that, like all that was like unnecessary, because look, like the root system on the orchid is really not big. So yeah, let me put that right there. That could go in compost. All right, so look at that. You have a sphagnum root ball and then the moss around. These store-bought orchids, I tell you, they are just, they're not suited for long-term living situation. The way that they do them is just to get them ready to stay pretty in the store, and that's about it. So I'm gonna be cleaning away at it. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean up all of them at once. That way I could just spray all of them at once with hydrogen peroxide, wash them at once, spray them at once, then just pot them up. All right, so this is gonna be very repetitive, so you're not gonna see me do every single one of them, but I'm just gonna do the first few while we talk about orchid media. I would say that I'm still a beginner to orchids, but I did a lot of research when I bought my first orchid, and I was determined to keep it alive. I did a lot of research, and there's so many information out there about what's good, what you shouldn't do, and I mean, some people, they take it like really seriously, like it's like the world is ending if you do this. Right? And for me, it's what works for me. If I try something and it doesn't work, then it's fine, it's a learning experience, it's a learning curve. So I'm not like have one thing set in stone. So I watched some videos and I see people growing orchids successfully, not just growing, but successfully with a lot of blooms in lava rocks, in pebbles, in whatever. Technically, these don't need the media they don't need it for nutrients. Like these roots could just grow like that because that's the way they grow in the wild. Like they attach to trees, like that's how they live. So the media that it's in, once it can support a healthy environment for the roots to thrive, I mean, that should be fine. Now this person was talking about growing in lava rocks, and he was saying that some people they're like, oh, the rocks are too heavy, it's gonna crush it and whatnot. And it's like, no, roots are strong, like they could break through a pot if they want to. And he has successfully grown his orchids, and we live in the same the same area, so we have the same environmental needs. And if you don't know, I live in South Florida, so yeah, I'm willing to try. I've grown orchids in a combination of bark and sphagnum for a while, and that worked for me, but I want to try something different because I feel like I could get some more vigorous growth that I'm not getting in those. And not only that, you don't have to keep uprooting the orchid every 2 years when the media break down to repot it. With, you know, sphagnum or bark, they break down and you have to keep doing that. So I'm willing to give it a try. There are people that grow them in, what do you call it, leca, semi-hydro, and that works for them. I've tried semi-hydro and it didn't work, and it's just because, maybe because of the orchid itself. The orchid was not strong that I tried it with, and it was more of a recovery attempt, so that didn't work. I actually have a dendrobium in semi-hydro right now. That's working out really well. I have it on my kitchen windowsill, and it's an east facing window, so I have that there. And I'm now trying water, like growing it in complete water. I see people do that as well, so I'm actually using that to recover a Phalaenopsis that I bought, a mini phal that I bought on clearance at Lowe's that had like one viable root. I bought it, it was fine when I had it, but I put it in a terrarium and the roots got desiccated because it just wasn't keeping the moisture. And yeah, so this one is hard. A lot of people, what they do is soak it before, but I just get up and say I'm going to do something, and I work with the time I have on my hands. So yeah, that's why it's like that. But as I was saying, yeah, so the roots were bad. I put it over the water, and that one root, like the tip of it was touching the water. Now it has 2 roots coming out and a baby leaf, so I'm excited about that. I'm tracking the journey of that so I could document it for you guys, share it with you guys once, you know, it becomes a big healthy orchid and maybe give me some blooms. But yeah, so I tried that. Currently I have my cattleyas growing in a combination of sphagnum and bark. And if I have success with these in lava rock, then I will transfer them as well, because they're not doing as well as I would like them to. Some of them are doing better than some, but they're not giving me the growth that I would like. So if these do really well, then I will just transfer those to it as well. But yeah, we'll see how that goes, and I'll keep you guys updated on the progress of these. So right now I'm just gonna go ahead and finish doing all of these. You don't want to see me doing all that, and then I'll come back when it's time for the next step in the process. I'm done with this one. Look at the root system. Some of it is not good, but once I wash it, I'll be able to tell which is not. So I'm done with 2 of them. Take a look at this, guys. This is why it's so important for you to repot your orchids not as soon as you get them, but when you buy them from the grocery store. It's important to repot them, you know, usually when they're out of bloom. But this is the tiny root system on this orchid, and this is all the moss that was in it, and it had bark that was around it. I already threw in there. So look at all this moss. Like, this is just gonna lead to root rot. So look at that. Yeah, just wanted to point that out to you guys. Another thing that I would like to point out is this moss is wet. I watered these, but I guess this one retained more moisture, and it was super easy to, like, it just fell off. So you remember earlier I was saying to soak the orchid before, it makes it easier. That's a tip I would give, even though I did not follow it, but it makes life so much easier. The others, I had to be fighting the orchid to the roots to get the stuff off of it, and sometimes even the bark, it gets attached to the root, but once it gets wet, it's a lot more pliable and easier to get off. So that's a tip that I just wanted to drop in there and give you guys as well. Here's another one, guys. Look at the root system on this, and most of the roots I broke off because they're dead, and there's still some more dead, but look at all the moss that was in it. And for this one, I had an accident. I had a boo-boo. This is a brand new leaf that accidentally broke. I'm so upset, but anyways, orchids are very resilient. They will bounce right back. It will bounce back once I give it the care that it needs. So here we have all of them, all unpotted. I'm gonna take them to my shower and wash them, wash leaves and everybody. If there's any pests, those will go as well. And then we're gonna come right back here to spray them down and start potting them up. Okay guys, so here we are in my shower. I live in an apartment, so I don't have the luxury of a backyard. So now, click on this to change the settings. Yeah, I'm gonna use the powerful setting. So yeah, and this is how I'm gonna do it. This is the lazy way. There we go. Alright, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get in there, rub the leaves somewhat, and then get back to you guys. Okay guys, so here you have it. They're all washed. Now, again, I know that everyone has their way of doing things. Some people, they will separate the orchids. They don't want them all mixed in together just in case they have any fungus or any disease or anything like that. Listen, if you have an expensive species orchid, you want to take that route, right? But these are what do you call them, hybrids that I bought on clearance. They weren't clearance, that I bought on sale for buy one get one free. So I just want to get them repotted, and I'm doing this the bulk way. So now, so don't judge me in the comments, or don't come for me in the comments. But now I'm just gonna put some hydrogen peroxide on the roots. I usually have a spray bottle of hydrogen peroxide. I can't find it, so yeah, I just want to get this done. Make sure everybody gets it. Yeah, get in there. Now this will help to prevent any fungus or disease or anything like that. Not everyone does this, so like I said, it's not that serious for me. Yeah, but you do you. All right, so let's get down to it. Now I hear them fizzing. Let it fizz a little. I need to get my lava rocks prepared. Open the bag. Probably should have washed this, but again, I live in an apartment, so where am I gonna wash? It's gonna mess up my drainage, so it is what it is at this point. Wow, some of these are big. So I think I'm gonna have to break it up somewhat. I don't know how easy it is to break up. Let's see. I'm gonna try to break it up. Let's see. I have this here. I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna beat it on the floor and see. Okay, that's not easy as I thought it would be. All right, so it is what it is. There are smaller pieces inside. I'm just gonna pick out the smaller one. What I want to do is put these at the bottom and then pick out the smaller ones. Yeah, because it's not easy to break up. But yeah, all right, let's do this. So this is already clean, and since everything is already mixed in together, I really don't have to worry about cleaning it in between because they're already mixed up. So I'm gonna just cut it, put it in one by one. Yeah, so let's get cracking. All right, let's start with, all right, this one is at the top. All right, you see I left the spikes because sometimes they rebloom from the spike. Now if it dries up completely, then I just cut it off. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut the dead roots. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this old leaf as well. Doesn't serve much purpose. I think I have all the dead roots on this one. Now the way you know the dead roots is if you squeeze it and it's mushy, like look, you see I'm pulling on this. If it was dead, it would just slide off. So yeah. And also you'll see the green. Sometimes it will be lighter green as well because it wasn't photosynthesizing. But that's what you know the dead roots. Like here we have a root that's dead. You see it's like dry and like right there. So let's cut that. Now it's time to repot. Now I'm not gonna do every single one of them because like I said, it's repetitive. Unless I have something to drop in and tell you guys or give you a tip or something like that, then I'm just gonna do this one and then go ahead and do the others off camera. So let's see. You see here? So I'm gonna put a few rocks at the bottom and then put it in and then put rocks around it. So that is what it's looking like already. I'm excited. Let me know in the comments if you guys like to try new things and have success with it. Just let me know. And also let me know what you are using to grow your orchids. Here we go. Now the way I'm gonna do it is so it leans forward like, yeah. So water doesn't stay in the crown, so you want it to lean forward. You don't have to, but some people let it stand upright, but you just have to make sure that water doesn't sit in the crown. So I'm gonna lean mine like this because it's gonna be on the balcony, and when rain falls, yeah. It's not even that heavy, but the beauty about it is that, you know, sometimes these files get really top heavy and it tips your pot over. Yeah, so that will work good, especially here for me on the balcony where it gets windy sometimes. All right guys, that is it for the first one. Look at it. Look at it. It's sturdy in place and everything. So I'm just gonna put this back into its forever home once I repot all of them, and then I'm gonna just go in and water them. Now on to the next one. Now another thing that I practiced from what I learned when I first started growing orchids is to grow them in plastic pots with holes. Another thing is they do sell orchid terracotta that has the holes in the bottom, but these are very porous and those rocks are not going to hold on to moisture very long, and it's very hot here in South Florida, so chances are I'm going to have to water them a little bit more often. I'm not worried about that, but when I first started and when I used to keep them inside, which I don't have a lot of success with them inside, but I used to follow that rule, keep them in plastic pots with a lot of holes in the sides so I could see the root development, because you know I guess that's the best way to keep on top of it, is when you can see the root development. But as you get more experienced, you don't have to see the roots to tell if it's doing good, and usually you'll see the new roots shooting from right here anyway, and then there'll be a lot of roots on the top Like when an orchid is healthy, like the roots go wild at the top, like those all over the place. So I don't have to do that anymore, but I still have the pots. All right, so that is it for this one. I got all the dead roots. I'm gonna go ahead and pot up all of them and I'll come back once everything is finished and we'll wrap this up. I don't want to bore you guys with the same thing over and over again. Basically it's the same process. Cut the dead roots, fill up the bottom of the pot, throw in the orchid, make sure that you fill in the ear pockets and the gaps, and that's it. So stay tuned. All right guys, so there you have it. They are all repotted and in their spot. This is where they're gonna live. It's an east facing window. The sun is coming out right now, so I'm gonna wrap up. So they get filtered sun and a lot of bright light. So I know phals, they love that. They love to be watered, not moist, but hydrated. So I'm gonna ensure that I'm on top of that. I have this spray bottle right here that I've been using, and I've just every time I come out here I just spritz, and that I just spritz, and that has been working phenomenal for all my plants, especially my moisture loving plants, and also my orchids that I have mounted. I have some phals mounted, some vandas, and a dendrobium, so those are loving it as well. So this is what it's looking like. I'm definitely gonna be updating you guys on the outcome. And you know, one thing that I'd like to stress that's very beneficial about this medium is that it is very inexpensive. Look, this is the bag. I spent $8 and I believe 38 cents at Home Depot for it, and I have a lot of. I could probably repot 20 more orchids and still have some left. Some of the chunks are big, but I don't mind. I can use it in my fish tank. Yeah, so it's very inexpensive, and if it works, then that's a plus. So if you're not yet subscribed, make sure that you're subscribed, because you don't want to miss this update whenever I give an update on how they're doing. I'm curious to see how they pan out as well. So if you're curious, make sure that you're subscribed with your post notification turned on. And that is it for today's video. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.